the killing. I see how you're going crazy, always thinking about me, blame it on the daily.
Welcome back, you fox lovers, to another video, and today we're gonna be playing a game called Kidnapped Girl. Let me make sure my headphones in. Alright, yep, they're in. We're gonna be playing this game called Kidnapped Girl. It's a Russian game because why not? It's a visual novel type game. As what I've seen in the pictures and in the trailer and stuff like that, it's a very weird game, and it has quite a few good reviews, I guess. But let's just get started. Let's click the game. The day I turned 17, not 17, the day I turned 17, I kidnapped a girl. Oh no, her name was Alice. Sociability was not the main feature of her character. In class, she was always quiet, especially with no one to talk to. A girl like her was not difficult to pull out for a date after school. In the process, she readily agreed to come home with me, where I gave her some juice laced with sleeping pills. Alice fell asleep in just a few minutes. It's my first kidnapping. Not a bad beginning. Everything went according to plan, although with the dosage I went too far. I lived with my uncle. His house was too big just for the two of us, so some of the rooms were empty. My uncle said for a long time that he wanted to rent them out, but he didn't post any ads, so I used one of them as my torture chamber. Of course, he didn't know that. Excuse me? Hold up, I was trying to fix that. Excuse me? Edward was the name of my uncle. He rarely went into my room. He rarely went into the empty room. The only key card to the room was settled in my pocket. Edward always came home late, so today I had plenty of time to have... Okay, mister. When I locked myself in the room with Alice, I felt a wave of heat sweep through my body. My hands were sweating as began to crawl along the rope. My gaze darted hungrily from the sharp blade to the white skin of the motionless body and back again. I better not have to censor this because the video, the video editor I use, I can't censor stuff with it. I don't know why, but I hope I don't have to. I don't want to. Simulation. With an excitement, bad thoughts came to my head. I looked back at the closed door. Did I make a mistake? Did everything go well? I shook my head, shaking off my misgivings, and set about the task I had long dreamed of. The only thing that matters now is that it's just the two of us, and that we won't be disturbed for the next few hours. I was getting excited about what was... Excuse me, miss... excuse me? Well, I'll have to, let me see. Okay. Putting my tools aside, I sat down next to Alice, putting my hand on her thin, fragile leg. I ran my I need to take off her clothes, otherwise it will only prevent me from enjoying the work done. Button by button, I slowly removed her shirt and froze in disbelief. Oh, whoa! Whoa! Excuse me? Excuse me? I don't want to see that. Yeah, guys, look at my lighting. I have, I don't know. I just changed the color. Look, guys, I can do this. Oh, shoot. What button do I press again? There we go. Look at this, guys. There we go. Now I'm gonna go all the way back down. There were bruises and other signs of beating under her clothes. I didn't hit her, so I couldn't have left those bruises. Okay. And where did they come from? Is she being beaten at home? And after all, she was only beaten where the clothes could hide the bruises to avoid being seen by strangers. It seems that Alice was regularly bullied. In some places, there were fresh bruises filled with blood, in others, disgusting blackened spots. The older ones were slowly dissolving. I can't even imagine how hard and painful it is to move in this state. But she came to school every day and even smiled in rare conversation with her classmates. Perhaps she decided to go with me so that she could return home as late as possible. These thoughts made the desire to hurt her disappear, but I didn't change my mind, no. That strange feeling in my heart was probably not pity, but disappointment. After all, psychos like me can't feel pity, and can't empathize with others. When I kidnapped Alice, I wanted to enjoy her suffering, to see the first drop of blood on her smooth white skin. And now I can't get what I want. Her body is covered in injuries without my effort. It's like asking for a sweet birthday cake but getting a still moldy cupcake. How can I fill Alice with pain and horror when she's already being bullied? Cat, can you be quiet? After thinking about it, I decided to hide all the torture items that could indicate the real reason for the abduction. And when Alice wakes up, I'll send her home and find a better victim next time. Whoa, that's a pretty nice room. I like that room. I wish my room looked like that. This is how my room looks. I have my name right there. I have a shelf right here. I have my bed over there. I have a window and another window. I have a whole lot of posters, books. My room's a mess. This guy's room is made out of metal, and everything is nice. He has whatever those stuff are on the wall. Is that a robot dog? What? Is that a robot dog? Yeah. But he has no pillows. He has no pillows. Finally, Alice opened her eyes. Ask if she's alright. Keep silent. I'm gonna ask if she's alright. As soon as she regained consciousness, I rushed to her, feigning concern. Oh, you're awake. Are you alright? Does it hurt anywhere? When we were sitting down, you suddenly fainted, and However, Alice was in no hurry to show excitement. Instead, she got up, looked around, closed her eyes for a second, then looked directly at me. Oh no, she's angry. You put me to sleep. Those words froze me for a second. How did she know about that? Oh. What are you talking about? I told you. What are you talking about? I told you. You just passed out. I've been put to sleep more than once, so I know the feeling when I start to fall asleep after a sleeping pill. Put to sleep? Nah. I was more taken aback by this news than when Alice said that I had drugged her. Never mind. Why did you put me to sleep anyway? Did you do something to me? Alice touches okay. Hey, I didn't do anything wrong to you. She took her hands away. You're right. Then why? I told you. I know you put me to sleep. Stop dodging the question. I didn't know what to say. The awkwardness of the situation increased with every second. I didn't know what to do or what to say. It was necessary to change the subject urgently and try to take control of the situation. Where did you get the bruises? So you undressed me. Ah, I get it. Where are the photos? What photos? The photos of my body? No, I didn't undress you or take pictures of you, trust me. Then why did you put me to sleep? That is not true at all, and you still haven't answered my question. I will only tell you after I hear the truth. I hesitated. Should I tell the truth? Something like, oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to torture you at home. But it's okay, I've already changed my mind, so you can go home. No, this is nonsense then. I'm not sure if it will work, but it's worth a try. Lowering his eyes and stammering, he pretended to be very confused. The only way to get out of this situation, which would go without suspicion, is to come up with a touching story, whatever. As far as I know, girls are more emotional and romantic than boys. I like you. And for long I have had the desire to kidnap a loved one. So I decided on my birthday to make myself a gift. Rubbing my hand, I continued to stare at the floor without looking up. Who would believe that? Wait, you? Okay, I nodded uncertainly. Someone liked me. And the recent weirdness and anger disappeared smoothly. She smiled and her eyes lit up. It worked. Well, my lie worked. Although I must admit I did not expect much success. I was already preparing to reduce the kidnapping to a mocking joke. To laugh in her face, call her a naive fool for believing that such a handsome man like me can truly ask a mild-mannered girl like her, okay. And then rudely taken her to the door after dealing with several insulting phrases thrown at me. After this farewell, it is not that I could just go back and talk to her anytime soon. I must admit that Alice is not as simple as it seemed. I didn't manage to deceive her the first time, although I am an experienced liar. But how can she immediately believe that I loved her? I don't know, you tell me. Well, while I was wondering at her naivety, I guess, she thought about something for a couple of seconds in silence. It turns out that I was kidnapped by my classmate who is also crazy. Her voice had become more soft. I would even say melodic. Okay. What did you want to do? Well, I wanted to let you live with me, probably. Alice laughed. Probably you didn't think it through, did you? There's nothing funny about it. I frowned slightly, which confused my former captive. I'm sorry, I just always thought you were incredible. You have excellent grades in all subjects, you get prizes, you are good at sports. I never thought a guy like you would like me, okay? I didn't think you were a bit stupid after all. And this is said by the person who was kidnapped. How dare you? We laughed. The tension had disappeared. Alice relaxed and began to behave more freely and at ease. At school, she usually doesn't attract attention during recess. She rarely leaves the classroom, sitting at her desk with her head down or silently looking out the window. In general, an inconspicuous there's no L. Inconspicuous gray mouse. And now I even catch myself thinking that she has a very nice smile. School, hobbies, music, we move smoothly from one topic to another, consciously not thinking about the kidnapping, and did not notice how time flew by. The longer we talked, the more free Alice felt. She listened to me with a genuine interest, sometimes even making various jokes in my direction and laughing sincerely. I listened to her stories and sometimes I couldn't help but smile. I got the feeling that the Alice who goes to school with me and the Alice who is sitting next to me are two different people. I never thought Alice could be so sociable and happy. The next few hours I passed quickly. We chatted about all sorts of nonsense. I was an idiot. It's late. I think it's time for you to go home. Your parents are probably already worried. Let me just say real quick. Yeah, save. My words made Alice suddenly sad. Her smile and the sparkle in her eyes were gone. It's like she's back in the ghost mask she always wore at school. I don't have parents. Ah, sorry. Then who do you live with? My stepmother and her boyfriend. She almost hissed the last words through her teeth. It was immediately clear to me that things were not going well at home. My guess was confirmed. The family does not favor her very much. Alice continued to sit next to me, not waiting to leave. I was silent and just looked at the time on my phone. Edward should be back soon, and if he sees Alice, I will have to explain. He is a good man, and will be happy if I bring a girl home, but Alice is not my girlfriend. I just kidnapped her and tried to torture her. Bind and hide in another room with a gag in her mouth is one thing, but to explain what Alice was doing and how we met, didn't want to. Seeing my confusion, she stopped, I think, right? Alice glanced at me briefly, then for a moment, pursed her lips, and with a sharp exhale stood up. I'm sorry, you don't live alone, and it's already late. She went to the door with a noticeable reluctance. It was raining outside. Yeah, it is raining outside. Before leaving, Alice turned around saying the last words. You know, I wouldn't mind if you really kidnapped me. You're much more comforting. And she left. Only if she knew. So it would have ended, but a couple of hours later, Alice returned. The doorbell rang. Okay, you look creepy. Clive, please kidnap me. After voicing her insane request and holding her bag with a trembling hand, she smiled and cried. Okay. The smile on her face was just an artificial dam, ready to collapse at any moment under an influx of emotions unable to contain the accumulated sadness, loneliness, and despair. No, not despair. No, not despair. What happened to her? Why is she crying? Such questions did not linger in my mind for long because the way she looked now, her pain drew and beckoned. Her vulnerability and tears seemed to cry, lock me away from people and do what you want to me, okay? On my doorstep stood not a sad classmate but a victim, begging her executioner to put her out of her misery. The sight of her made me want to hurt her again. A familiar wave of excitement ran through my body. My breath quickened, my hands trembling with impatience. I wanted to lock myself in with her again and run the blade over that soft skin, okay? I wanted to see how her tears would flow with the drops of... What? Do you want to be kidnapped? Haven't you ever considered the possible consequences? I was like, wait, what? Poor Alice. I couldn't help it. I roughly grabbed her hand and led her to the same room. We were alone again. All that remains is to take a knife and... Wait, Clive, you want to do this to me even though I'm a... What are you talking about? Alice told me everything. She worked as a... Okay! Um, okay. I don't need to know that. I wanted to save money so that after coming of age, I could immediately leave my stepmother and her boyfriend and live separately. Her stepmother's lover liked to, okay. But Alice always locked herself in her room. Today, when she returned home, this man, as always, was drunk. Her stepmother was not at home, and he tried to, she barely fought back and ran away from home, returning to me. I'm kind of scared. She had nowhere else to go. You could just call the cops, cause that's illegal. Now you hate me. I'm sorry I did it. If I knew someone like you would like me. Her tears started to flow harder. But please let me stay with you. I'll do anything. Anything. Those two words stuck in my head. Will she consent to be the victim of my torture? While I was thinking about this, Alice continued to stand waiting for my answer. I couldn't find any words to say, so I hugged her instead. This embrace was of a fleeting impulse, which for some reason I instantly obeyed. And even though I didn't expect it for myself at that moment, this hug seemed the only right thing to do. Okay. This is how we started living together. Oh, his room is nice too, but it's smaller. Clive, are you still awake? Hi Edward, I need to prepare for a test tomorrow, or for tomorrow's test. Good, just don't overdo it because I won't ask you to give me high marks. It's enough for me that you're happy. Yes, I understand. Well, I won't bother you. He didn't notice anything. Great. I locked the door and went to the balcony. Alice, you can come in, but quietly. Did everything go well? Yes. Initially, I wanted to put Alice in one of the empty rooms, but she was afraid that my uncle would still notice her. So she stubbornly demanded to spend the night with me. My room was spacious, so it was easy to lay another mattress. In theory, Alice would go to school with me. Edward always left the house earlier, so there wouldn't be any problems. On Saturday, we would stay at home, and on Sundays, Uncle did not work, so Alice and I would just walk late until Edward falls asleep. The only problem was that my uncle could come in to the room at night, so I started locking up. Since then, I've had many opportunities to talk to Alice. Maybe it's because we started living together. At school, she followed me everywhere. Why are you following me? What should I do? If you will be with me, you will have various surprises. What are the surprises? I'm not going to give in to such temptations. She came close to me and whispered in my ear, even if you want to do something with me, it's nice, okay? You're kidding? Hey, don't make such an indifferent face. Okay, Alice's conversation and behavior turned, excuse me? After a while, I decided to finish what I started. Oh, no. No. Saturday. Alice, can I tie you up? No. At this time, she was chewing chips. When I asked her about it, Alice froze with her mouth open. So, will you let me? Huh, you finally decided to show me your secret. Huh? Well, be glad, for Alice is in a good mood today, okay? I knew that she would not refuse me. During the time we spent together, it was easy to see that Alice had fallen head over heels in love with me. Now she was as docile as a trained dog. Okay. Before proceeding with my plan, I put the paper on the bed so as to not stain the bed with blood. And then, oh no, I tied Alice up and buttoned her shirt and taped her mouth shut. No resistance. On the contrary, she put her hands in the loop, waiting with interest for what would happen next, just in case I turned up the music louder. Neighbors don't need to hear all the screaming. As soon as the blade of the knife flashed in my hand, Alice twitched but immediately fell silent, probably thinking it was a joke. How wrong she was. I put the knife to her slightly pale skin, which had already removed almost all the bruises. Oh no. There is only one small movement of the hand left. Save. 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 Back. Enter. Push down. Okay. Started bleeding. Mooing. What? Resistance. Fear. She tried to get out, but I tied her up tight. Just as I was about to make another cut, I felt something was wrong. Why? Why don't I feel pleasure? I've always wanted to do this, so why? I'm a fucking psychopath, okay? What the hell have I done? I dropped the knife and ran out of the room, leaving Alice bound and alone. At that moment, I realized with horror that I no longer wanted to hurt her. What the hell is wrong with me? I've been dreaming about this, dreaming about getting a knife, and I remember the trail of blood running down Alice's chest, and I suddenly felt sick. My stomach felt sick, my throat felt tight, my body was bent in convulsions. I could barely contain my vomit. Pushing the nausea away, I leaned my back against the wall and slid down. Alice. Looking at this girl, I saw a person filled with pain. I often met such people on the street. Their blank stare, quiet voices, and hesitant movements always made me want to pick up a guitar string and tie it around the poor person's neck. What? Then why do I feel so bad now that I am so close to realizing my dream? I'm crazy, I'm crazy, okay? Yeah, you are. I have neither pity nor compassion. I'm a fucking maniac. With every such thought, I would slam my fist on the floor with a vicious frenzy, and my eyes would fill with tears. I don't remember how long I sat there, maybe a minute, maybe an hour. In a fit of anger at myself, time simply ceased to exist. Calming down a little, I got up from the floor. I need to untie Alice. After this, she will probably leave me. It's better this way. I don't want to see her again. I don't want to hurt her anymore. After returning to the room with a first aid kit and providing minimal medical assistance, I untied it. You can leave, the door's opened. Alice didn't move and just looked down in silence. Then her eyes got wet. So you did this on purpose to kick me out. I'm right? Not at all. Then why did you do such a terrible thing to me? I do not understand. You really want to get rid of me? No. Yes! She started shouting and started throwing dirty words at me. I just waited in silence for her to calm down. You son of a... Then why did you hurt me? Because I'm a psychopath. I've always wanted to do this. In the beginning, I kidnapped you just to torture you. Then why did you stop? I don't know. I don't enjoy it. I didn't get to finish reading all that. I don't know. I don't enjoy it. I always thought I wanted to hurt someone, but it turns out that this was not the case. Damn, I am such an idiot. Yeah, you are. We didn't say anything else. We just sat across from each other in silence. What? After a while, Alice broke the silence. Clive, so you don't like me? I raised my head and looked at her. She looked more or less calm now. No, I never liked you. I got a slap in the face. You lied. I hate you. Oh no. How dare you slap me? We didn't talk for the next few days. I didn't kick her out, and she didn't leave after all. One day, Edward came home early from work. I left Alice locked in my room. You know, Clive, I've noticed that our food has started to go missing more often. Oh, it's because of me. Recently, I read on the internet that a sports person needs to consume a lot of calories. That's why I sometimes eat for two, okay? Here's how. You're right. We were still eating when Edward spoke again. By the way, Clive, I also noticed that you started closing your room. Anything you want to tell me? Damn, it looks like I'm going to have to use an excuse that I've already come up with just in case. I didn't want to use it. Edward, I'm a teenager, and teenagers have some things they shouldn't talk about. Do you understand? Are you, What's up with this game? Ed! Ah, come on. Can't an uncle tease his nephew? Sometimes he acts like a child. What about the girl? I tensed up. Does he know? Are there hidden cameras everywhere? Do you have one? I've never heard you say anything about it. I sighed in relief. I don't have a girlfriend, and however, I did not plan to start a relationship yet since studying already takes a lot of time. I think you need to relax. Sometimes a girl would be nice. Girls are such creatures that you waste your time on. I'd rather spend the next few years chasing my goals. I'm pretty sure that thing above that big metal door in the other room was a camera. I saw this red dot up there. I'm pretty sure that was a camera. It would have gone on like this if something would have gone on like this if something hadn't happened a few days later that I was so afraid of. Alice's story. What happened? I want to know what happened. Clive had to stay at school after school. Oh, so it has to do with that? Well, guys, this game looks a whole lot like, or just like this part and stuff looks a whole lot like Doki Doki. Like all the save files and there's all these numbers and stuff. Other stuff, like even the bottom is the same, I'm pretty sure. The history. Yeah, everything's the same. But guys, I will have to end the video there. We're going to be doing Alice's story in the next video. Yeah, this game was crazy. But guys, I just hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.